Hello, I am Shashikant Hippargi from Singad College of Engineering, Solapur, belonging to ENTC department. So today we are going to understand the concept of the network theory and analysis, and that concept is mesh analysis. So if we try to understand what is mesh first, and then we will try to understand how we analyze a given problem by using mesh analysis. Mesh is the smallest loop that can appear in your any closed circuit. So the smallest loop can be called as mesh. So accordingly, in this figure, if you try to see the example that I have taken, the mesh are mesh number 1, mesh number 2 and mesh number 3. So we are having 3 meshes in this whole circuit. Now there are certain rules to write the mesh equations. Mesh analysis basically depends upon the KVL, that is Kirchhoff's voltage law. So if we know the Kirchhoff's voltage law, it is very easy to write the analysis or the equations for meshes. So the rules are, I will define certain rules and we will try to write those rules and then we will try to apply the mesh analysis. The rules are, the very first one is that always take clockwise direction for the mesh current. Now this doesn't mean that you cannot take anti-clockwise. You can take anti-clockwise also, but for the sake of easiness, in all the meshes we are trying to consider the currents as clockwise currents. If we are going to get these currents in minus, then it shows that whatever the direction that we have considered is actually wrong. The current is not clockwise, it is anti-clockwise. But initially we assume that the currents are in clockwise direction. The second rule is that whenever I move in the direction of the current, then through any of the component, the very first we will take plus and then we will take minus. So from or in the direction of current, first is plus and then minus. Third rule is, whenever I move from plus to minus, while writing the equation, I will consider it as minus. Whenever I am moving from minus to plus, I will take it as plus. Now the third rule is, whenever you are moving from plus to minus, then write as minus. Whenever you are moving from minus to plus, then take the sign as plus. So these are the 3 basic rules that we are going to follow, and accordingly we are going to write the equations. So if I try to write the equations, then I write for the first mesh. And for mesh number 1, I will start from one end and I will try to come back to this end itself. So if I start from this end, I am moving from plus to minus, I will try to write KVL. I am moving from plus to minus, according to the rule plus to minus, I will take it as minus. So this becomes minus 10 multiplied by the current, I into R. R is 10, I is I1, so this becomes minus 10 I1. If I move further, it is plus to minus, then again I will take minus. The value of resistance is 2, and there are 2 currents which are moving from this resistor. One is I1, which is top to bottom. Second one is I2, which is bottom to top. If you try to understand, then these 2 currents are opposing each other. So we are going to take the subtraction of these 2 currents. So always try to write the first current for the mesh number 1, because we are writing the equation for mesh number 1, minus the current from mesh number 2. So this becomes I1 minus I2. Next, further if I move, then I am moving from minus to plus, which is the voltage directly. So I can say that this is plus 5 must be equal to 0. Because whenever I am moving from minus to plus, I will take it as plus. This is your equation number 1. We will try to solve this and we will conclude it into one equation. So this becomes minus 10 I1 minus 2 I1 is minus 12 I1. This is only I1. Minus into minus is plus, then it becomes plus 2I2. Then we are left with plus 5 must be equal to 0. Just for the sake of simplicity, always we try to write, just for the sake of simplicity, it is not a compulsion. For the simplicity, we try to write the current for which I am writing as plus, and for the current which does not belong to my mesh, I will write it as minus. So this equation, if I try to multiply it by minus, then multiplying by minus, it becomes 12i1 minus 2i2 minus 5 must be equal to 0. Now this is what we will call it as equation number 1. This is not a compulsion part. We can solve the same question by this equation also, but just for the sake that about which mesh I am talking, we will try to take that current as positive. About which mesh I am not writing, we are trying to put all the currents in terms of negative. Now here one modification we will also do. Now I take the constant on the RHS. So this becomes plus 5. Minus 5, if it goes to the RHS, it becomes plus 5. This is your equation number 1. Similarly, I will apply the same thing to mesh number 2. So mesh number 2. Again the same rule. If I am moving from plus to minus, I will take it as minus. So minus 10. The current that is flowing through this resistor is I2. If I am moving from plus to minus, again I will take minus. The resistance value is 2, and then there are two currents which are flowing through this 2 ohm resistor, but they are opposite in direction. So the rule says that we are supposed to subtract. So why subtracting? Because I am talking about mesh number 2, so I will write I2 first and then I3. So this becomes minus 2 I2 minus I3. Then if you come here, this is also plus minus because the current is going like this. Then again there are two currents which are moving from this particular resistor. So we will take I2 minus I1 because I am talking about mesh number 2 this time. So this becomes minus 2 times of I2 minus I1 must be equal to 0 as there is no voltage source in this. So if I try to write all the equations again in the generalized form, if I try to write I1 first, then this is minus into minus plus 2 into I1 is 2I1. So this becomes 2I1. Now I2 is here, here and here. So this becomes minus 10I2, minus 2I2 is minus 12I2, minus 2I2 is minus 14I2. So this becomes minus 14I2. Then I3 is only 1, that is minus into minus is plus. It becomes 2 times of I3 must be equal to 0. Again for the sake, I am talking about mesh number 2. So I will take current 2 as positive, rest of the currents as negative. So again I am trying to multiply by minus sign. So if I again multiply it by minus sign, this becomes minus 2I1 plus 14I2 minus 2I3 is equal to 0. Now you can call this equation as equation number 2. We have found the two equations. We are having 3 unknowns, so it is needed to write 3 equations. So 3. So for mesh number 3, again follow the same rule. Plus to minus, minus 10 into the current that is moving from here is I3, minus to plus, plus 10. Again it is from plus to minus, so I will take it as minus 2. Again there are two currents which are flowing through this 2 ohm resistor, but because I am talking about mesh number 3, so first I will write I3 minus I2 must be equal to 0 because this completes the loop, mesh. So again I try to write I1 first, I2 then, I3 then, and then the constants. So if I try to see here, there is no I1, so I leave it as it is, but I2 is available, so minus into minus is plus, so plus 2 times of I2. I3 is minus 10 I3 and then minus 2 I3, so total is minus 12 I3. This I will take it on the RHS, this becomes minus 10. Again as I said, about which mesh I am talking, I will take that current as positive. So to make this as positive, again we will multiply it by minus sign. So if I multiply it by minus sign, this becomes minus 2I2 plus 12I3 must be equal to 10. So this is your equation number 3. Now we are supposed to solve 3 equations three unknowns. If we solve these three equations, we are going to get the answers. And the answers that we are going to get at the end after solving this is, I'll write it here, I1 is equal to 0.43 amperes, I2 is equal to 0.075 amperes, and I3 is equal to 0.846 amperes. We can use the calculators by using three unknown in the calculators. We can try to put the unknown as, for the first A1 is 12, B1 is -2, C1 is 0 because there is no I3, D1 is 5. Similarly here A2 is -2, B2 is 14, C2 is -2, D2 is 0. Similarly here A3 is -2, B3 is 12, A3 is 0, B3 is -2, C3 is 12 and D3 is 10. So after putting all these values in the calculator, we will get three values of I1, I2 and I3, and those are 0.43, 0.75, 0.075 and 0.846. Now the next question arises, there is a simpler way to write all these equations directly. I can write all the three equations as it is directly without doing all these things. Now we are going for the shortcut method. This shortcut method can be used whenever we are giving the same, or we are solving the same question in the competitive examinations. So I will try to write all the three equations without doing all this much work. So how to write the three equations? The very first thing is that I will match with these three equations once I start writing it. So the very first thing is that because I am writing it for three unknown, so I must take three unknown as I1, I2, I3. I am supposed to write three equations, so I directly write I1, I2, I3, I1, I2, I3, and then I1, I2 and I3. Now these are the three equations that I have got. So somewhere I am supposed to write now the resistor values. So while writing the resistor values, I am talking about mesh number 1 here. This is for mesh number 1, this is for mesh number 2, and this is for mesh number 3. So while writing, always remember that whenever I am talking about mesh number 1, the current I1 will be positive. Whenever I am talking about mesh number 2, I2 will be positive. Whenever I am talking about mesh number 3, I3 will be positive. So simply this becomes plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, minus, and then plus, because we are talking about I3 here, so I3 will become plus. Now the next thing is that how to write the resistor values. In mesh number 1, try to find out where all I1 is flowing and write those resistors. For example, in mesh number 1, current I1 is flowing through 10 as well as 2. So the total resistance is 12. So I can directly write it as plus 12. I hope that I am very clear. Plus 12. Second, I am writing for current I2 which flows from mesh number 1. Current I2 flows from mesh number 1 only from this 2 ohm resistor. So simply the coefficient of I2 becomes 2. Then I am trying to write for current I3 which flows from mesh number 1. I3 does not flow from mesh number 1, so the coefficient simply becomes 0. Similarly, try for equation number 2. The current that is flowing I1 from mesh number 2 is only this 2 ohm resistor. Current I1 flows only from 2 ohm resistor, so this becomes 2. I2 from mesh number 2 flows from 10 as well as 2 as well as 2. So total becomes 14. So this I can write it as plus 14. I3 from mesh number 2 flows only from 2 ohm resistor. So this becomes 2. Similarly, while writing the third equation, from the third mesh, I1, because I am trying to write for I1 does not flow from mesh number 3, so this becomes simply 0. I2 flows from mesh number 3 only from 2 ohm resistor, so this becomes 2. I3 flows from mesh number 3 from 10 ohm resistor as well as 2 ohm resistor, so this becomes 12. And then I am supposed to write the RHS. At the RHS, we are supposed to write only the value of the voltages. Now, in mesh number 1, there is one voltage source. In mesh number 2, there is no voltage source. In mesh number 3, again there is a voltage source. So in mesh number 2, I can directly write it as 0 because there is no voltage source. Now, how to write the voltage source, as plus or minus? That depends upon if this voltage source is supporting your current I1. What does it mean? If this source also says that the current should move like this and the current direction that you have taken is also like this, then both are matching. If this current source says that the current should be in the reverse of this, then both are not matching. If both are matching, we will take it as plus. If both are not matching, we will take it as minus. For example, this says that the current should go like this. The current that we have assumed is also moving like this. Both are matching according to the source as well as according to the current that we have assumed. So we are going to take it as plus 5. Similarly, here there is no voltage source. Here I am having again a voltage source. Now this voltage source also says that the current should move like this and the assumed current is also from top to bottom. So both are matching. So we can say that I am supposed to take it as plus 10. Suppose if this would have been reverse, if plus is on the top, minus is on the bottom, then this supply says that the current should move like this and the current that we have assumed is something like this. Both are opposite to each other, then I would have taken it as minus 10. But otherwise it is plus 10. Now we will try to compare. I will say that this is equation number A, equation number B and equation number C. Now equation number A must match with equation number 1, equation number B must match with equation number 2 and equation number C must match with equation number 3. Try to check it out. It is 12I1, here also it is 12I1. It is minus 2I2, it is minus 2I2. There is no I3 because 0I3 is 0, here also it is 0, equal to plus 5, equal to plus 5. Minus 2I1, minus 2I1, plus 14I2, minus 2I3 is equal to 0. This is equation number 2 and B. Similarly for equation number 3, if you look at it here, 0I1 means that there is no I1, here also we don't have any I1. It is minus 2I2, here I have got minus 2I2. Here it is plus 12I3, I have also got it as plus 12I3 and is equal to plus 10, this is equal to plus 10. So what we have seen is that these three equations can be directly written without going for all these things, but this can be done whenever we are doing it in competitive examinations. So my main motto was to explain what is mesh analysis, how to write the equations. Now you put it in the calculator, you are going to get these values. So I hope that in this video you have understood all the mesh analysis concept. Thank you very much.